China is still got a long way to go in terms of its understanding of design and design thinking. How does China, where is China in this spectrum of kind of made in China, as you described it in our conversation the other day, to created in China?
Yeah.
What does it need to do to get to where it should go?
Well, it's certainly not a linear spectrum, is one thing I would say. I think there are many Chinas when it comes to business innovation and different sectors that are doing amazing things, DJI being a great example of someone who's actually world leading in their category. And actually, also, as is very commonly referenced, the Alibabas and the Tencents and the Baidus of the world, who basically started as digital natives, have also, I think, and many of the people have mentioned it earlier today, been driving innovation for quite some time in spaces like e-commerce and seamless integration of physical and digital. But the entire economy has been going through, as we all know as well, this shift from a slowing down of what still is growth, but a slowing down of that, and really the government very publicly pointing to innovation and entrepreneurship as important new engines and sources for growth, right? And so as you look across industries and different kinds of businesses, they're faring better or worse depending on the nature of their context, depending on how entrenched in the industry they are, or how disrupted they are going to be. And I think one of the things that I'm seeing, certainly when speaking with Chinese CEOs, at least the ones that are really deeply thinking about where growth is going to come in the next decade for them, it is a shift in, and this kind of hits on a tension I think that was brought up early at the first panel in the day, this idea that innovation is fundamentally a challenge of the old, a challenge of authority, right. And that somehow that might conflict with Chinese culture. And so I think one of the things that I've been very encouraged by are Chinese CEOs who are fundamentally thinking of their role as not the person at the center that must, as the CEO, have all of the answers to everything and be able to kind of look into and predict the future, but someone who is very, very good at asking different questions and asking the right questions, and then enabling a much wider group of people to do, to deliver on answering that question. And I think there's a really important kind of power, trust that needs to kind of be given at some level at CEOs and executive teams to enable those people to go out and create a more agile organization, an organization that has its finger on the pulse of the market and can capture the right kind of insight and iterate at speed. And all of that, typically, some of the times I've seen it really come up against a challenge is when you have a senior decision maker where all things still need to go through them at all points. And digital just doesn't work that way and requires a different kind of collaboration.